Seeing none, we'll move along. Moving on to the approval of minutes, April 21st, 2026. We have a motion, please.
I move to approve the minutes of April 21st, 2026.
Second.
We have a motion made and seconded to approve the meeting minutes from April 21, 2026, and this would be for public release. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Second, we have another April 21st meeting, the executive session, and we look to approve the executive session at this time, not for release.
I make a motion that we approve the executive session minutes for Tuesday, April 21st, 2026, and not to be released at this time.
I'll second
We
that.
have a motion made and seconded to approve, not for release, the April 21st, 2026 executive session. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Moving now to April 23rd, we have another set of meeting minutes.
I move to approve the April 23rd, 2026 meeting minutes.
Second.
We have a motion made and seconded to approve the April 23rd, 2026 meeting minutes for the Select Board for public release. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, moving along, I understand we do not have a town administrator report, as that will be held, all of her work will be shared with us in a little bit during the meeting. Select Board comments?
I would just like to say I had a brief moment to stop up at IMS's 50th anniversary. It was very lovely and well done and thought out, so I want to thank them for the invite.
You're welcome.
And
I'm sorry I didn't run into you.
appreciate it,
There are
yeah.
a few other people there.
Quite a few people there, yes. Yeah, it was great, thank you.
Good, good.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Anything else?
No, I got nothing.
Okay,
No.
I think we're good. Moving on to new business with some fire surplus disposal. Obviously, that has to be brought to our attention and made as a public record. So if anybody wants to go through that just very briefly and present it to the public for a motion?
Rich?
Yep, so this is all standard, Briggs & Stratton generator, a Hearst electric pump, and Hearst gas pump. That's to run the hydraulic rams for the Jaws of Life. There's 2 Hearst cutters and 2 electric hydraulic hose reels, typically used for booster line or brush fire hose, and a 4-inch Storts fitting.
Is your expectation on this that it is $1,000 for each of the items read? It says here estimated value of,
I would
they
say
must be really joint.
that is combined, because each page he has it broke down. Like
Okay.
he has 200.
Okay, so the item is surplus good for some party, so we would make it public that these items are available with an estimated value of, for the items of $1,000 total?
Yeah, so the items that I listed, the fire chief has put $1,000 value. Then there's a second page
Yeah, for other items.
for other items that I did not list, and he has a dollar value tied to them as well. And that's, these are task force nozzles. And I can't read his writing on the other nozzle, but it's a nozzle. I just can't see what brand or type it is. And then he has a Hearst ram, a Hamacho ram. Again, these are all used for extrication of vehicles, and a Hamacho combo tube, which was cutter and expander, again, used for vehicle extrication. So he broke them down.
Okay, do we have a motion?
So I make a motion that we allow the fire chief to sell the surplus equipment as outlined in the sheets that he provided tonight.
I will second that.
We have a motion made and seconded to dispose of fire equipment recommended by the fire chief. Those in favor?
Aye.
Must really be bad stuff for that one.
Old.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, moving along, we have DPW, we have, well, that's our wage authorization. We probably want to talk a little bit about Mass General Law, Chapter 90.
Yeah.
Chief, you're here for that?
Yep, absolutely. So I know we had discussed this previously, specifically having to do with High Plains and the new playground up there.
Mm-hmm.
And we did determine that that was a thickly settled area, so the select board agreed to make that a 25-mile-an-hour zone. I know there was a little bit of discussion about making it townwide, but I don't believe a vote was ever taken
Right.
by the board. I'm here to ask that the town, or that the select board adopt Mass General Law, Chapter 90, Section 17C, which basically makes any thickly settled or business district in the town, a 25-mile-an-hour zone, as approved by the select board. Anything other than that would have to be, there'd have to be traffic evaluations and studies and everything like that. The area that, of specific concern right now is I would like to make Pleasant Street in between West Street, or 122, and Washburn Road, a 25-mile-an-hour zone.
Wow.
Along with Pleasant Street in between Haws Hill Road and Lockwood/Lover's Lane.
Really? Huh.
I have a permanently mounted radar speed sign that I received a grant for through Mass DOT for the section near the intersection of Ruggles Lane, for a 25-mile-an-hour zone. And then Insight, who has a representative here tonight, would like to purchase their own radar speed signs for their section.
Mm-hmm.
They have worked with us and also the DPW as far as.
Now, we
arranging that.
did speed bumps at High Place. I assume they're gonna be going back into place.
I haven't talked to Tim about that.
Okay, I would just say
assume
that
would
made a huge difference last year.
Yep, and I don't disagree, however,
No,
there
I'm
are
not
no
saying that-
plans
I'm
to
not
do
saying
so.
that- yeah.
Yep, there are no
Uh,
plans to do so.
Well, it's seasonal, those bumps are
Yeah,
seasonal.
so they're only taken out in winter due to plowing needs.
Right,
So I think we can make the DPW aware that it's time to okay, now, are these the only areas you're contemplating, or are we?
So I've also talked with Tim about like Route Road in between South Street and Old Coach, that section there. We've had some speeding complaints. Just that short little section, I think we could consider thickly settled and mark that at 25.
Mhm.
He has some 25-mile-per-hour signs in hand, but he's also gonna order some additional ones.
Mhm.
We'll have to change out the ones in the areas that I'm talking about on Pleasant Street. Once the board, if you so choose, adopts Chapter 90, 17C, then I will make notification to Mass DOT.
Now, who will determine the actual areas that will be?
Well, the state's definition of thickly settled
Mhm.
is the territory contiguous to any way which is built up with structures devoted to business, or the territory contiguous to any way where dwelling houses are situated at such distances that will average less than 200 feet between them for a distance of a quarter mile or over. So
Okay.
that's the
So that wouldn't be Pleasant Street,
dictionary.
that wouldn't be Pleasant Street up by Haws Hill. So,
Well, I would say that with Insight's dormatory, and then also with their new development going in, that would classify as thickly
well,
settled.
especially with the construction stuff. As a walker in the area, I would say, yeah, it's a great idea. But I mean, good luck with monitoring that. That's all I can say.
Well, I mean,
It's kind
our
of off your-
officers will
it's-
enforce
yeah,
it
but
just like anywhere else.
Yeah,
in
it's
town.
kind of off the beaten path here. Talk to me about 122 with the donut shop and the this place and the that. I don't know if that's a state road and thus that's not our business, because there's
So
where
that-
some dangerous travel
That
goes.
that's considered a state highway, so
That's
this
the-
would not apply.
Got it. Okay, down in the Barre Plains area around that little common,
Yep.
would that be
That would
considered?
apply.
That
Yep.
would apply?
Yep.
Crooks
Okay.
Canyon to the center.
Yes, I would say just that stretch. Beyond that, unless like with Insight, we consider Stetson dormitories.
Yes, Stetson dormitories, a school and so forth, I suppose.
Yep.
Well, it's a lot of work for you guys. So once we make this authorization, will you then put in writing the areas in town that you deem, that you'd like us to vote to approve?
Well, by approving this, you basically say anywhere in town that falls under this definition.
Okay, so and that will be wherever you wanna, okay.
Wherever.
And then we will make
Sure.
this public,
Yep.
as well as,
Yes, and then,
okay,
like I said, I will make
signage.
notification to Mass DOT, who then publishes, I actually have a list. They publish a list of
Oh, okay,
cities and towns that have accepted this,
okay.
and that list is available to anybody on MassGov.
Okay, so we'd just be before air. Okay, makes sense.
Thank you.
take those words. I mean,
They're a reminder.
no, for sure, because there are times, I'm guessing, especially heading down to that Ruggles Lane spot, that people pick up speed as they're going down that hill, and, there are some people that I drive with, and they will name nameless, that I go, slow
Thanks,
down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, could I have a motion?
Yeah, I would move to approve and adopt Mass General Law, Chapter 90, Section 17C, and that would be the establishment of 25 mile an hour per 25 mile an hour speed limit in thickly settled or business district in city or town, but
Second.
We have
Sit
a
it down.
motion made and seconded to ask the state to allow us to designate Mass General Law, Chapter 90, Section 17C, that we would be establishing 25 mile per hour limits in thickly settled or business districts in the town of Barre. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you,
Very
Chief,
good.
very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you. See you.
Okay, moving along to wage authorizations, we have one from the DPW department, a water operator, and that is Mr. Jacob Rourke, and he is designated as a water operator at an hourly rate of $25.82 at 40 hours per week.
But there's two there because one is effective.
One is retroactive back to July
Right.
1.
Oh,
Okay.
And then
Uh,
one is,
Yeah.
Okay. So one is retroactive back to July 1, and then there's a 2% increase going to the $28.54, correct?
And these are because he obtained licensing,
Right, I see that.
so he's a licensed operator now.
Right. He's licensed operator, now is considered the assistant chief and trained to do so.
So these pays have always been there, he just wasn't getting them until he got licensed.
Yep. We have a motion?
Yeah, I move that we approve Jacob Work, water operator, at a rate of $25.82, which is effective date of 7/1/2025. So that's retro. Do you want to do both in one fell swoop?
If you would like.
And then also that we approve Jacob Work, pay at $28.54, starting 4/13/26. These are 40-hour work weeks.
All right, I'll second both of those.
We have a motion made to authorize the wages as presented by the DPW Superintendent, Mr. Batchelor, for Mr. James O'Rourke. Not O'Rourke, Rourke. Jacob.
Work, yep.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, moving along to FY Bud 27 budget review.
We like flew through everything. Do you know if Corey's coming?
I believe so, but
Okay.
he's probably not gonna do it until around 6.
So we're missing one of our finance committee members for the budget review. But
Well,
I can
we'll just
review it with
recess.
you and then I can
Well, I mean,
Yes, recess.
I have no problem with the recess until such time.
until 6.
But is there's meeting is posted for 6?
Yes.
Then we're gonna wait till
Yeah.
6.
We're gonna wait.
Yep.
Sorry.
So in the meantime, can I just give like a verbal
You
TA
can do whatever
update
you'd
in the,
like.
so let's see, what did I do in the past couple of weeks? So
What
I
didn't you
went,
do?
I went to Holyoke Saturday for a rural and western Mass conference. That was very interesting. They talked about obviously the school budget, especially,
ours.
yeah, rural towns are having a very hard time. They talked about school budgets. They talked about the, energy facilities siting board, gave some information on that. They're supposed to be putting forth like template regulations that towns can adopt if they want to. And of course, they've been working on this for months and months, and they're gonna give us like a month or two to decide what to do, as the state does. So that was pretty interesting as well. I went to, where else did I go? I went to Chicopee. What did I go to Chicopee for? No, I'm trying to remember. The DOR, they did a free cash certification class, which is also very interesting. They had talked about, a little bit about that winter recovery that might go through, that would be huge for
That winter
the town.
recovery, is, people know what that is? Probably not much, explain what that is.
So there's an idea to do an FY '26 supplemental with $100 million to give towns extra money for their excessive costs for snow and ice over the winter, and they're reserving $80 million for, I think they're doing it by the Chapter 90 formula. And then 20 million for towns that were hardest hit, whoever those are, probably east.
Probably.
So, probably east.
Probably
So
east.
that was pretty interesting. I've had a couple, public records requests pertaining to parcels, multi-department requests for those that we just email out. And most of the time it's just been working on the warrant and the budget, so it's been a,
We've had some
Been a
meetings
couple
with, just the schools about budgets again, so we did spend some time with that.
yes,
Um,
yep.
We also have been spending some time with the water department, some issues of concern there.
Which we can't discuss because it's not on the agenda.
Well,
Yeah.
just letting us know that it's not on the agenda, but we did advertise that the water ban limiting is just annual. It starts on May 1st and goes through. Restrictions, so. I know some people think we made that one up.
Yeah, so it's basically just been budget and warrant and meetings here and there and,
Yep.
yeah. So, and free cash has been, the balance sheet has been, submitted to DOR, and hopefully they are going to approve that any day now, which was great. The Schedule A was done as well, so they will not be withholding our state aid. They gave us until April 30th. That's complete. So things are looking good.
I'd just like to commend our town administrator for the work she's done. We were in FY '24, we've been in FY '25, she's been in FY '26, and has had to, working with new strategies with CBIZ to get everything closed out and figured out, and now we think we have actually some numbers that are real, and that is really, really impressive. I mean, I can't tell you how many hours she's worked on this. She doesn't.
Just the fact that we can estimate free cash made a huge difference to this budget, which we'll go over with this budget.
But I mean, you know,
time, so.
Saturdays, Sundays, Fridays.
Saturdays, Sundays, and whatever, so I just
You do
really,
the job.
yeah, I just wanna thank you for your work, because,
welcome.
it's a new experience for me to see that actually happen, and not being chasing around Schedule A's forever. So, thank you,
You're
really.
welcome.
And the town should thank you as well, because it
Yes.
makes such a huge difference for our work.
Absolutely.
All right, so we wanna take a
Yeah, we
recess
I think,
until-
I don't think we have an
Their meeting's
option.
at 6,
Until
so.
6.
Their meetings are
Yeah.
6, so we just have to, instead of doing it twice, I mean, we could run through our stuff, but obviously doing it.
Make a motion that we recess the select board meeting until 6 PM.
I'll second that.
We have a motion made and seconded to recess the current meeting to 6 PM, when we will be joining with the Finance Committee.
We do have it
This committee for a joint meeting.
I'll second that.
We have a motion made and seconded to come out of recess and to join with the Budget and Finance Committee for a joint meeting. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I will turn it over to the Chair of Budget and Finance to open his meeting so that we can get started on the review of the budget.
All right, it is 6 PM on Monday, May 4th, 2026. I am opening up the Town of Barre Finance Committee meeting, joint with the Select Board. Just a reminder, this meeting is being recorded. Anybody have any recording device on it? All right, we'll move forward. Just quick housekeeping for the Finance Committee, approval of meeting minutes from April 7th of 2026.
I'd make a motion to accept the meeting minutes from April 26th.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, now we can move forward to FY27 budget review.
Mr. Moderator, do you have the documents that we'll be reviewing?
I read them.
Oh, okay, yes, you have that? Thank you.
I still think,
Okay.
just to double check my stuff. So first I wanna say, if you see any errors, any typos, or anything that you think I missed within the budget, please let me know, because I'm the only one that has looked at this. So multiple eyes are appreciated. Okay, so the budget was tough, to come up with. So this on the screen is the same thing as this. Do you want this? No, okay. So it's the same thing as this. So at the top of this document, we have all of the, let me put my glasses on, all of the revenue, that's coming in. So the things that are highlighted in orange are the things that were not, that are not solidified yet. I believe, starting with the regional agreement for the COA, we're going to get the 35,976, and that is 12,976 of that will come from their formula grant, and the rest will be their budget. The cherry sheets, obviously, that hasn't gone through the entire process yet. The Senate is coming out with their draft version tomorrow, which I hear is increased unrestricted general government aid, which would be fantastic, but I'm not gonna hold my breath for that.
No, I know.
The ambulance receipts, I put that in red because I wanted to bring to your attention that there's only an estimated 463,000 by the end of this fiscal year. One reason is for that is because we had that article, to purchase the ambulance at our December meeting, so that was already taken out and reserved for that purpose. So we're a little low on the ambulance receipts reserve. I'm not worried about it for next year because we engaged with that collections agency and we have 2 ambulances running. So I'm not really concerned about it for next year. Free cash. So free cash, the balance sheet was submitted last Monday. Our DOR rep was on vacation all week. It was school vacation last week, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so, he's looking at it this week. It's estimated at $800,000. That's contingent on, I know I've mentioned this before, the $424,000 that we had in the bank that we had posted to everybody's accounts, but it didn't make it over to SoftWrite. One of the reasons being just data entry issues with 2 different software programs, and that will go away in July, so that should never happen again. So as long as DOR is okay with the proof that we've given for that $424,000, that will be included in our free cash calculation.
Is that 3 years worth? Because we haven't seen free cash since FY '24, when we gave, we had a special town meeting in November, when we gave money out.
What do you mean you haven't seen?
Have we had certified free cash?
Yeah, there was like 168,000 last year.
We have not had
It
the
was
accurate
160.
number of free cash. As I said, we've had not only Melanie, but another agency actually going back through all of our books.
Yeah.
So that 800,000, that's not from a single year ago.
Well, no, so that 424,000, that was like over 3 years of receipts not being booked in accounting because of the 2 different softwares.
And going forward, there's no concern of that anymore,
No, because we're gonna move right to Vadar. So what will happen is, as the treasurers book everything on their side, it just gets pushed electronically through the accountant, to the accounting side.
Great.
So it'll be fantastic, no more worries about that. I think they identified like another $80,000 that we have to clean up to the good. We have it in the bank, it's just not on the accounting side. So we'll work on that before we close FY '26. So that will be included in our next free cash calculation as well. Okay, so moving on, I like to break out the elected salaries. I know that that hasn't been done in the past through the other document that you guys had, but I think it's important to know what we're spending on the elected people. So we have that broken out. The things highlighted in blue are my recommended changes, I think. I know that we had talked about this before, about things not being funded appropriately, like the select board expenses. I mean, we do all of the advertising for everything. I mean, $5,000 just isn't enough. Haven't gotten mileage reimbursement. I pay for a lot of my own trainings and stuff. And we should actually, in FY '28, I would like to break out, and actually maybe I can ask the accountants to do it now, make a ledger just for that, underneath that 8,000, so we know what's town administrator and what's select board. I think that's a good way to move forward. So all the technology stuff, I mean, obviously prices are increasing, so those have to go up. Our IT managed services, that went up. Software went up. The changes to the town buildings, as I discussed before, like the town hall maintenance, that was way underfunded at $6,000, because historically it's between $9,000 and $11,000. That's funded, so that has, we can't not increase that without, the only way we could do it is if we just like close the town hall. But we can't knowingly underfund it. The Henry Woods building, the same thing, the actuals were over that. We have been looking, Sandy and I have been looking at, expenses as they come in, sorry, I'm gonna lose my voice, as they come in for the Henry Woods building, and identifying savings, that we can make along the way, but again, I've only been here 8 months, so, it's gonna take some time. The public safety building is over $63,000. I'd actually like to put it up to 70, but I'm gonna start with 66. In hope that maybe we can keep it within that. Legal, I'm just gonna leave at the 30 and the 9. The reserve fund, we talked about this at the last FinCom meeting, to put it up to 35,000, just because of, we don't know where we're gonna be with fuel. So I just assume leave it in the reserve fund instead of like putting it to the fuel line, so that we can keep track of what our expenses are with fuel. And if anybody has any questions or comments or anything, just
So then,
direct me.
so then we just go to FinCom and they would move it
Yes,
up.
yep, yep.
Typical process.
Yep. So the town accountant's salary, this is the actual for CBIZ, which yes, is higher, but we're also saving about $6,000 in benefit costs from the previous staff budget. So it's not, while it's higher, it evens out a little bit, and you'll see the benefit savings down below too. The town audit.
Is that something they would do like an ongoing, contract with, or would their rates go up annually?
So it will probably go up annually, how much I can't say, and I can't even say that it would go up annually. I know when I used them in Phillipston, I think the first 2 years they stayed the same, and then I think they went up like $1,000. But, I mean, then again, we're gonna have to decide if we want to keep CBIZ. I definitely do for FY '27, because we're moving to Vadar. We have a sexy new chart of accounts in there. And it's gonna be really good to have a nice clean start and know that everything rolling over to Vadar is
Correct.
hopefully perfect. In my mind, it's gonna be perfect. So, the town audit, I'm not sure if $45,000 is going to be enough, because I know that all of the auditors are increasing their prices, but $45,000 is where I'm starting, with it. So, after the FY '24, after we receive the FY '24 audit, which I believe I have finally satisfied everything with, and they are finalizing that, after we receive that, I'll start contacting other auditing firms, and getting a quote to see what we can do for FY '25. Board of Assessors salary, I believe that we have talked about this before. The clerk salary, we need to increase the hours for the clerk in that office because people come in all the time wondering when it's open. And our assessor just can't do it all. He just can't. He's gotta go out and do inspections and everything. It's just not possible. So we have got to increase that, so we can get that taken care of. So part of the cuts, I've tried to be very fair across the boards. I mean, there aren't any major cuts to any department. I've tried to be very fair and take a little from this department, a little from that department. So you'll see like $1,500, $2,000 just in a reduction in their expenses, just to try to not get anybody hit. The one place I did not do it was the treasurer collectors, just because that assistant treasurer salary is no longer there, so they already got that. And one thing that I'd like to do starting in FY27, their expense line houses the Harper's bills, so that's payroll, that is like debt service, legal fees that come from there. So I would actually like in FY27 to ask the accountants to create another line within that, just to pay Harper's from, to pay any debt service, legal costs that we have, so we can break those out and see what the actual expenses for the treasurer collector office is, not for like the town services that's housed within that. So the tax title expense, I'd actually like to see 20,000 in here, because we have a lot of tax title cleanup to do, a lot of work to do, but I put it, at the 15,000. So the 572,000 for the health and the dental, this is where you'll see I took out, I took out, the positions in the accounting office, and 2, I typically like to reserve spots at the highest cost health insurance, right? Because you never know when somebody's gonna come. Instead, because the budget is so tight, I put it at the most popular plan. I did 3 extra plans at the most popular plan. So hopefully if we get another person that comes on and they want the highest cost one, we're not gonna get 2 more people that want the highest cost. But we'll deal with that if it happens. So
What was
that
the
was
increase on insurance this year?
12%.
12%, I think, yeah. So by making those tweaks, I was able to not have it go astronomical. You'll see it only went up by $1,500 by doing that. And it's not something that I would recommend doing year after year, but in tight years, you're gonna do what you
I
gotta
shouldn't
do.
say it's not bad, it's disgusting, but here.
Yeah, compared to other towns, yeah. So Medicare, I put up to, I'd rather see 53, but I put up to 52,000 just because, you know, when people's pay goes up, the Medicare goes up. Worcester Regional, so this number right here, let me hover over this. So the total assessment is $754,392. 12,448 of that belongs to water and sewer. So we can't collect it from water and sewer and put the full amount here, so you have to reduce what we're getting from them, to put it here. So the assistant town clerk salary, with Mary Ann retiring, Ellen, has changed around her office. So she's increased the hours to the town clerk salary, and I feel really, really bad, I'm sorry, Ellen, because I did not get a chance to meet with her today. She came in later today and I just haven't had time. So there was an administrative clerk salary here, it was like $5,000 and something that Kay Flick would work, I'm assuming her last name is also Flick,
Yes.
would work 8 to 10 hours a month. That had to go, unfortunately. So you still have Ellen and the assistant town clerk down there. And hopefully maybe next year we can put it back. And then again, these other highlighted ones, one reason that I had departments submit their budgets with 3 prior years of actuals, when it comes down to cutting budgets, that's what you look for, is how much they spent in the past. So Ellen historically has not spent all of this, which is fantastic. And we will restore this when we can, because I know that it's essential to her. But I was able to find some money here. So she herself, her original budget for the election expenses was $58,490. She gave me back $5,000 of that, so it went down to $53,490. However, I want 2 special town meetings held just in case we need them, which we probably will need one in the fall. So I put $2,000 back in there, because she said it's $1,000 per special town meeting. So I put that back in there. Regional dispatch, I'm hoping beyond hope that this goes down next year, because that's a big number. Emergency management, I'm not taking away their $1 for each one of them.
It just keeps that line item open, so if we have a disaster, we can transfer money into that open
Yeah.
line item.
So the fire department, you'll see the fire inspector, the full-time would have been like $78,000, I believe it was, don't quote me on that. Which I said to the chief, I just can't, it's just not gonna fit in. So we did the $60,000 for the fire inspector, which we need, because, you know, as he said, we need to keep up on the fire inspections.
What does that buy you? Does it get you an actual person or like overtime for people to do that position?
No, get you an actual person, and that person, when they're, when they're doing the inspections, in between those, he can go on calls, or the person can go on calls as well. So it's not strictly for fire inspections. I guess it's what, the chief used to do.
He did do it that way,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
And then fire expenses, I am taking out $2,000, because, you know, it's sharing the wealth here. Ambulance services, again, I took away $2,000 from that. The police department, Chief Saborin was here last week, I don't know, my weeks are all blending together, when we went over, part of a budget, so I tried to meet him halfway with some of his things. I don't know if you've taken a look at that yet, Chief?
I mean, I haven't broken it down.
Yeah, so I tried to meet him halfway, so there's nothing that's being taken away from the FY '26. Everything is being added to, maybe not at the level that he requested, but I tried to meet him halfway with it. The special events we did take away, we're just not gonna have a parade. And
Which parade is that?
That's Christmas in Barre, right?
Yeah.
It'll be Christmas and Memorial Day.
And
Oh, yeah.
Memorial Day.
Well, no, I disagree.
you disagree.
I did, absolutely, I don't think you can just say to Memorial Day, to the entire.
It was your idea to not have a parade.
No, I told you that, I think saying we cut it, because we never really cut the parades last year. Okay, we still have, I cannot believe that anybody is gonna take laying down, we sit here and say, hey, we're not gonna pay, whatever it is, $10,000 or $4,000 for the veterans, I
Where
can't.
would you, well, you can tell me where to get the $4,000.
We're gonna get it out of the additional aid that's coming when.
I do
Memorial
have,
Day, we can't.
no, we have to do it now. I do have $13.70 down below. I don't know how much it would cost just for the Memorial Day parade, if
I
we
mean,
could like.
I can get you that number.
Well,
Okay,
it can't be much.
so I'm gonna highlight that one yellow.
I can get you a number here in a second.
Okay,
Okay, so we'll just carry on while he's looking that up, because I do have $13.70 down below.
Mhm.
okay.
And then we can try to take a few bucks from someplace else.
So it'll be $960.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
so we're good, so we'll put in the 960.
We can't,
Well, I couldn't stand up in front of the town and say we're not doing this.
Memorial
That was
Day.
your idea.
No, never was my idea. You saw me immediately, that's like bringing up schools.
She was talking about Christmas in Barre.
You're gonna be specific with me, I don't know what our parades are. So regional animal control, the Board of Health, I did take $1,400 away from the building department expenses. Let's see, conservation, I took away $1,000 just based on the historical spending. The planning board, again, the same reason. Department of Public Works, so the only thing they increased was the pay. And I took $2,000 from the town roads expense and improvements. The cemetery commission, I took away $500, the tree warden $1,000, again, both based on historical, actuals. So the library, this is their Plan B, I think I've talked to both groups, maybe not the FinCom, because I don't know if I've seen you since I saw the library people for Plan B. But they submitted the Plan A with the increases for their staff, which are long overdue, everybody knows. And then they did this Plan B, which is a little bit lower. And I can't mess with their formula, so if you're not happy with this, I'll have to tell them to look at it again and give me something else. To me, this, I recommend this, but.
Could that, I think a lot of this might be, depending on certified and free cash, like, is that something that could you go to Plan A at a special town meeting for like a half a year? And like increase?
I would have to ask Joe about that because it has to do with their grant that they get. So they get certified, so I don't know, I'd have to ask Joe that. So recreation,
How much of a difference, excuse me, how much of the difference is there between the Plan A and the Plan B?
Well, you have to add up the 1,000, the 2,000, 4,000, you know, so you can get a,
I don't recall
Okay.
off the top of my head, I'm
I
sorry.
feel like
That's
they've
okay.
taken a back seat, well, you know it, they've taken a back seat for like 3 years in a row.
Yeah, and these are still pretty good increases. Actually, you know what? The, if you look at this one that you guys always had, I believe that their Plan A is still in here. Where are they? Where are they? Oh, for the tree. Yeah, so where it says not Plan B, that was their Plan A. But their Plan B is what fits into my budget, so.
It is what it is.
So recreation, I put down to $3,000 from 6. Mary Ann spends it all the time, as she should, because it's for recreation, but we need to find funding. So if you don't want that cut, you're gonna have to cut something else with that $3,000. Felton Field, again, I cut that by 6,100. They're typically around 8,000 that they spend, and I cut that down to 5,000. Wachusett Greenway, I believe that it was 1,100. I put that down to 500. Commons and cemeteries expenses, $1,000 I took away. Holiday decorations, I took the 2,000 away. I talked about that before. Historical commission, I took out $950 just based on their historical expenditures, down to $250. Council on Aging, again, the receptionist, I want to remind you, is going to be paid for from the formula grant, so that's in the revenue up above. And I cut $2,000 from their expenses as well. The veteran services, I took $1,500 from there, again, based on historical spending. And then, of course, we have the Quabbin Regional that is still at the 6.1% increase. We're waiting for that to hopefully change. Monty Tech and the debt service are set. So then below all of that is the debt service. So all of these first ones, the debt principal and debt interest, these are all water and sewer debt. And those are all revenue up at the top coming in as we pay for them. And then we have the debt exclusions, principal, and interest.
Can I ask you a quick question on the,
Yeah.
what you said? I was asked today by a resident, what is the mandatory requirement to fund, and what is the extra that we fund? I didn't know where.
On the Greenway?
No, on the Wachusett, Quabbin Regional, Quabbin Regional.
Oh,
Oh.
Quabbin
Oh.
Regional.
I don't know.
remember the figure was thrown out at the last year's town meeting.
All I know is I need to present it as we're assessed.
Well, see, I think you're throwing out minimum local contribution, which is part of the formula. It is not the assessment. People think it's the assessment.
And it's not the
It is
assessment.
where you start your calculations for the assessment. And then anything above that amount is divvied up by the regional agreement.
By the percentage
I
that
caught
each
that
town pays.
explanation in the meeting
Yeah.
today, like,
Yeah.
not all of it's 38%, some of
Right.
it's 38%.
Right.
But I can't present a budget that's not what we're being assessed.
No, I
Because I'd
understand
be
that.
creating a deficit, knowingly creating a
I
deficit.
just didn't know how to answer the question, so I figured I'd
Yeah.
ask.
Yeah. So the debt exclusions, you'll see that that has dropped significantly this year, which is good. And then special articles, so here's where we get a little cheeky with it, okay? So, free cash, we have to use for our recurring expenses, the $630,000. So we can't use free cash to fund the overlay that we could not fund on the tax rate recap. We can't use it for the fire truck lease payment, and we can't use it for snow and ice, because we have to use that. I don't wanna use the whole $800,000 that were estimated, because who knows if we're actually gonna get that 800,000, right? So when I saw DOR last week, I said, do you guys have a problem with me doing a lower estimate in order to do the budget? I said, otherwise, we're gonna have to make a ton of cuts just to reinstitute it at town meeting. So they were fine with me doing a lower estimate. I wanted to only do 500,000, but then I would've had to make another $130,000 worth of cuts.
Can we set a budget on, free cash that isn't certified yet?
Yes, I just said I talked to DOR and they gave me the okay.
Okay.
Because they, everything's submitted, they know it's submitted, and it'll be certified before town meeting. So if it comes in lower than 630,000, then I'm gonna have to work on cutting the budget on town meeting floor. Okay. So all of these need to come from general stabilization, which would be revenue at the top. So general stabilization, we have about, and I was completely wrong, I don't remember who I said, we only have 178,000, so I apologize for that. That was the amount that we expended in December. So we have like 600 and, I don't know what I did with it, it's in one of my many folders here. $689,000, oh, actually I put it in here, because I knew it was $687,000. And I don't really wanna dip into it, but we don't have a choice unless you wanna make all of these cuts. So.
This is a good use to dip into it.
I think it is too.
Other things aren't,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah, because your stabilization is for a rainy day, this is a rainy day. And when it comes down to it, we're using a lot of that for the ambulance receipts reserved, and that's not gonna happen next year. So you have that we'll call it $400,000, it's not quite that, that's going to ambulance receipts reserve that we won't have to use next year. So hopefully next year, when it comes to the free cash, we can put some in our general stabilization, we can put some in our capital stabilization, instead of using it for all recurring expenses.
We've taken money out of their account and put it back, so.
Yeah, so, which we need to stop doing, we need to stop borrowing money
Right.
from different places, that we need to start building up. So, now, here's a gamble. This, and I said this to DOR right at the meeting, so, there's that, supplemental, FY '26 supplemental that's on the floor. So they're looking at $100 million for winter recovery, for the towns, I think just using the Chapter 90 formula for 80 million of that. 20 million of that will go to, the hardest hit towns. So here's what my plan is, and I'm gonna try to explain this correctly. So if we take, and this is where we can do this part or not, so we could take $62,000 from general stabilization, get us down to the 258, that we could possibly get with that FY '26 supplemental, okay? So if we're down to 258, we get the supplemental, snow and ice is just done, okay? It's zeroed out. If we don't get the 258, with our new accountants, I had a meeting with them and told them that this is my plan. We'd have to get, everything closed by October, which is not a problem. Get free cash certified, have a special town meeting before we set the tax rate to use the free cash to clean up the rest of the snow and ice.
Yeah.
That's what I'm suggesting we do. DOR seemed, on a positive side of the supplemental going through. Whether or not it does, I don't know. But the plan B of getting free cash certified, which I know we will, because we have a really good finance team, getting it certified and having the special town meeting that we will probably have to have anyway, we'd be all set. So I don't know what you guys all think about that.
Well, we know that the Senate budget is gonna be, the senators are the ones who are pushing the snow and ice recovery money. And they seem pretty committed to it.
Especially since a lot of it will go out east.
Right. A lot of it is gonna go southeast.
Do we have any, state of emergencies at all this winter?
I don't think anybody did.
Not
And
that I'm aware of.
but-
Cause
that-
they reimburse on those. right?
Well, sometimes
Oh,
they
that's
do.
jumping through hoops.
Yeah.
Oh, is that
I mean,
jumping through
we're
hoops?
very fortunate that the Senate has moved forward with not only increasing UGA, but also, with this winter recovery. And this is gonna be out of their supplemental funds, so both of those are good things,
And it
very
would
good
be
things.
fantastic if they could send it before the end of the fiscal
Well,
year.
Well, the thing of it is, they're gonna allow you to, they're gonna send it, and they're probably, they're always late,
Yeah,
but they're gonna allow us to
yeah.
use it, so.
And I figure if we take the 62,000 from general stabilization now, and then we're left with the 258, and it gets wiped out, then we don't have to worry about the $62,000 after.
Right.
And knowing that we could possibly get the 258, I say we just get it down to that, and then wait and see what
Yeah.
happens, and then go from there. If everybody is in agreement with that, okay.
Yeah, I think it's a good
So-
plan.
So that's general stabilization. So then we have, the raise and appropriate, the assessor's article that they always have, which I can't remember the verbiage off the top of my head, but that's the same thing they always have. We have the prior year bills for water, sewer. All of these are water and sewer down here. And then we have the PEG access. The PEG, I can actually put in revenue at the top, right? Because that's not, yes. See, we have an extra $25,000 now, which we should just take out of free cash,
Yep.
reduce our free cash usage. So I'll put that back, and I think I had it up there before and then I took it out. So we're not putting anything to, capital, we're not putting anything to stabilization, so that's the total of our special articles. We have the cherry sheet offsets, the state charges, so our total budget with everything would be the $16,091,647. And then we come up here, I'll put this 25,000. So, and I wanna bring your attention to, I put meals and rooms up here, but I didn't put it in as revenue because it still needs to be voted, and I don't wanna bank on that where it's been voted down twice.
Not the rooms, yeah.
Not the rooms are no,
Yeah.
but the
Yeah.
meals taxes,
So.
3 times the charge.
So, usually, like, if it's new to the year, DOR recommends that you underestimate, so that's why I put the $60,000 on there. But I'm being positive and including it in my revenue line, just in case. So I'm gonna do PEG. I'm gonna do 25.
How do we estimate, or how did you estimate the 60,000 where we've never had it before?
Because I think I mentioned before, I emailed DOR to ask
Okay.
for estimates,
Oh,
and they
wow.
gave me the FY '25 estimate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to do, now that this, well, whatever changes you guys want me to make, but now that this is done, I'm gonna do a presentation at the senior center. I haven't scheduled it yet. I'm gonna do a presentation at the senior center and one here on the meals tax. DOR has a great presentation that they have already put together. And I also wanna log into the gateway and show everybody how your local receipts directly affects your tax rate. Because it's all part on the tax rate recap, it's all in the same area. So then we're gonna lower this down to 605. Okay, oops.
Anything that we can do to get the public informed would be helpful, because now it's just this kind of acrimonious, people saying X and it's not really true, but, so hopeful that we can at least have a good conversation about it.
So if we do actually get the $800,000 of free cash, usually only 605 for this one, we'd still have 195,000 that's rolling over into FY '27, which is fantastic.
Nothing.
No, I'm stingy, no,
Nothing.
I am very conservative.
Yeah, I should cut both the parades.
That's both parades.
So we have $800,000 in potential free cash, and last year we had an override for 400 and some change
Mhm.
that wasn't needed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Right,
that-
but we
that's,
didn't know about the
that's why,
400 some odd
that's why
thousand.
some of the personnel that we've been working with for a number of years that were frustrating you and frustrating us are no longer with us.
So I would like to also take this opportunity just to say that, one, I know town administrators have come and gone. There's no finance director here. So when finance staff have questions, when they have issues, who are they gonna go to discuss this? There was nobody for them to go
We
to
agree.
ask for help.
Yeah.
So I wanna put that out there. So I also am going on the next select board agenda, I wanna put an item, please don't let me forget, I wanna put an item, I would like to have, a committee formed to look at, over the next 9 months, to look at the structure of Barry's town government, look at the budget, see what we can reorganize, see where we can make cuts and where we can save money, because this is not sustainable. It's simply not sustainable. We don't have industry in the town. I mean, we're piecemealing this time, and we're probably gonna have to piecemeal it every single year after. So we've really gotta look at what Barry has and really, really figure out what to do for the longevity, the fiscal longevity of the town, but we'll discuss that at the next meeting. Okay, so even with the $605,000 in free cash, so we end up with 410. So that's my idea for the budget. I have questions, concerns, any errors you guys saw would be greatly appreciated.
You expect that within the next 2 weeks, we may have some more information on, unrestricted local aid. The schools may have some information
Yep.
that, because we'll be through the amendment process,
Yeah,
and we'll be able to see what did the House do, what did the Senate,
Yeah.
where the numbers match.
yeah.
We might be better off in schools. I mean, that's the hope. And so some of that would probably, is that gonna be like a cleanup come fall? Or would you make
What do you mean a cleanup?
recommendations that,
I say if we stick with what we have
Okay.
and we let that roll over to free cash for next year,
okay,
and we start building up, we have got to start putting into the general stabilization and the capital.
It's getting too
We
low.
have got to have a capital improvement plan. Just because we get it doesn't mean we need to spend it. We can't. We cannot keep doing that. And historically, from what I've seen with Barry, if you have it, you spend it. If you don't have it, you spend it, and that needs to stop. Because I can't frustrate myself every single year starting with a budget at 0. So hopefully the school does come in lower. Hopefully we do get more state aid. And hopefully our free cash will build, so that we can actually start putting money away.
Mhm.
I mean, we're gonna have to put money to OPEB too, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Well, we have the account, but we don't put much in.
Yeah, so, I mean, and these are all things that we do, and the capital plan is, #1 priority. We have got to start working on a capital plan, get back into a capital improvement planning committee, so that we can actually start funding
Stuff.
cruisers every 5 years. We can put money away for any
works
ambulance
well.
if we need to. We have to do that. It's not an option anymore.
Talk to Tom, and, because the Teamsters have a health and welfare fund, they might be able to quote you guys the whole town, because they could cover all employees, not, necessarily if you're a Teamster, not management will on it. They might be able to save you guys money on health and welfare, so for health insurance. So
Is
you
that-
gotta have if you have a
is it-
bargaining unit in your town.
That
of
has the Teamsters.
Which you do.
Oh, yes,
You
we
can
do.
actually sell it to the whole town.
Uh-huh.
And it's a nonprofit,
Oh,
I know
okay.
Maya's technically a
Yeah.
nonprofit,
Yeah.
but
I'll talk to Tom about it.
Yeah.
And see. So any questions, comments, suggestions?
So the good thing is, from starting out several months ago, when we thought we were going to really have to lay people off,
Mhm.
we're not in a position where we're laying
One person.
one person.
One person who works 8 to 10 hours a month.
Right, so,
Yes. Which if you guys wanted to keep that position, I can put that $5,800, whatever it was, back in with that revenue that we just got from PEG.
the management
Would
decision.
you, yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
if that's what you guys wanna do, I can put that back in.
If it's needed. it's
my opinion would be if she
$8,000.
says she needs it,
Mhm.
Okay.
yeah.
This is a much better meeting than
Yes.
we
Well, it's-
anticipated.
Extra things around elections that the town clerk needs and whatever, so I don't know what that position does, but my guess is it's probably around elections and stuff too.
Well, it's, for when people come in or
Yeah.
licensing or whatever, yeah. So I mean, it's kind of I don't wanna call it a luxury, but it is, compared to other departments, it is a luxury. It's not like the treasurer collector's office has somebody when it's tax time,
Mhm.
when it's, especially motor vehicle, that was a lot of bills coming in. So it is kind of a luxury for the town clerk's office to have that.
Now, generally, you guys hold a hearing, correct?
So,
Yeah.
I emailed Joshua today, and he taught me about Barre. So what has to happen, we can go through the warrant, you three can make your recommendations, you guys can only discuss the warrants, and then next Thursday is your hearing, and that's when you can make your recommendations.
So the select board could go to the hearing and make their recommendations simultaneous, or do we need to make the recommendations tonight?
That would be, yeah, that's up to you. The only thing that's guided, we have a bylaw
Right,
that says that they have to have a hearing.
right,
It has to be posted at 4 places in town for
I
some
know.
reason. And that's the time at which they're supposed to decide their favorable and favorables. They don't have to decide them. Sometimes they leave, a couple
Yeah.
of things that they don't know the answer to. But normally, they would be making their favorable and unfavorable decisions at that hearing. You guys can do whatever you want, the bylaw doesn't say. You could do it right now, you could do it next week,
Mhm. Okay.
you could not do it at all.
Oh, okay.
Just say no, we have no
Anything
recommendation.
we've passed over, we've done like a half an hour before the
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah. So we could
So-
do it with you, at the, okay.
Yeah.
or-
So I do wanna say that, yes, when I started this budget, I'm like, holy crap, what are we gonna do? We have no money. That $424,000 saved us,
Mhm.
100%. Because that went right to the, I mean, basically, you could say it went to the ambulance, you know what I mean? That the free cash allowed us to fund the rest of the ambulance for this year. So if it wasn't for that, we would be making enormous cuts.
Mhm.
So I would say, based on what you just said, that if we do get extra money that we didn't anticipate,
You just let it roll over for free
I-
cash next year.
that's what I was just
Yeah.
gonna say. We
100%.
don't touch it,
Because then when I do
Right.
the budget next year, I can say, we're gonna put 10% to general stabilization.
right,
We're gonna put $50,000 to capital improvement, hopefully it's more than that,
right.
you know?
Right.
But without knowing that it's coming, I don't wanna play this game of I have no clue where we are, what we have, what's
Right.
happening.
Right.
Which is where I was at, I didn't build this budget, I have no clue what the revenue thoughts were for building this budget. So to me, I mean, I don't know where we're gonna end up at the end of this fiscal year, I really don't.
Right.
I still don't.
Right.
So having this little bit of cushion, hopefully estimated, is a huge deal. It allows me to sleep a little bit at night.
Yeah.
So these other paper budgets, so like I said, this one highlighted in orange is the same thing that is on the screen. I did kind of do a version of the one that you guys usually get. I shortened the columns though, because I changed a couple things and things just weren't calculated.
This one doesn't have to be total.
What do you mean it's not total? Oh, for the departments, yeah, no. But I also did this handy dandy one-liner and put it in order of cost for departments. So each department is totaled, goes from the highest, obviously, education, to the lowest.
This is where the pie graph came from.
No, that was a different sheet.
That was a different sheet.
And I did not have time to do
No,
the pie chart. I really wanted to. It just didn't happen. So the one-liner is kind of nice to see,
Yeah.
because it really breaks it down. Looking at this is kind of like, by the time you get to the third page, you're like, I don't even remember what I saw.
So in
the
theory,
one-liner's good.
and we might be able to lower taxes in a couple of years.
No,
No.
not if you wanna keep your infrastructure maintained. We haven't done anything in all of these buildings for so long.
I mean, I can't say that because
No.
we don't even know where we're gonna be 2 years from now. And valuations keep going up,
I know,
which
But they're
increases it.
unrealistic.
the valuations,
I'm taxed higher than Zillow says my house is, and Zillow's way higher
I don't
than
know,
reality.
I don't know. Well,
Yeah.
that, maybe you have an assessor issue, maybe seek
I was
an
gonna say, that you gotta talk
abatement.
to the assessor about,
Right.
that's not my.
It's not our thing. It might be just,
Um,
an improper assessment.
But I mean, I'm hoping that we can get to the point where this budget is very transparent, everybody knows where the money is going to, you know what I mean? That we're not being wasteful, and I know that we still have work to do, we do, we have a lot of work to do, we have a lot of structure to make and, processes to put in place. But just being able to show everybody the revenue that's coming in, where everything is going, I think just will hopefully make a big difference, and then over time, hopefully we can make enough tweaks to make the day a little brighter for people. I don't know. So, any budget questions before we move on to the warrant?
Nice job, Melanie.
Yes,
Thank you for your
Right.
time.
Okay, so I kind of just threw together this front page because I noticed there was a front page on the other one, and I'm not even sure where they pulled all the numbers from, but I went on to BOR's website to find all of these numbers. You'll see the balances as of April 30th. The free cash is estimated. The water and sewer retained earnings are also estimated. And actually, you know what? I just noticed I have to change this ambulance receipts reserved. I have to change that. So, that's that. I had the moderator's proposed opening motions, as always. And then we get right into it. So, we took out the, what was it? The,
Appointing positions that.
Town
haven't been
officers for-
elected, or it's something that, in all my years here, I've never seen any action on.
yeah, so, town council said I could take it out, Joshua said I could take it out, so that was gone. So Article 1 is reports from committees, which is just whatever it is. Prior year fiscal bill, we went over this in the budget, water and sewer from the retained earnings. And stop me anytime, I'm just gonna breeze through the things. that
Those
are
two were
easy.
already purchased, right, 3 and 4 last winter?
Yes. A little loader?
Oh, you're ahead of me, okay, yeah.
Oh,
So those were already purchased, so we just need, and these should have been on the December warrant, but because we didn't have anything certified, we had to pass over them. So they're back on here again. So this debt service, I believe that this is the number that we're looking at. So this is, and that number might end up changing. So this is the difference of, how do I explain this? So the USDA loan / grant, there was $500,000 that is considered a grant portion of the loan that the sewer department did stuff with. I don't know what, because I'm not on the sewer commission. So the interest from the ban that they had to pay off, some of that grant money was still left that can pay off a portion of it. So this is that remaining balance plus $9,800 in legal costs for the USDA loan. So that's what that is. Water retained earnings for a pickup truck. And I don't know anything about that except it's on the state bid list.
I almost feel like the water and the sewer, I almost feel like it's not fair that every resident can vote on it, considering we don't, like, I'm not on water and sewer.
Yeah.
Like, is there a way to only have water and sewer users vote on those articles?
No,
No.
Joshua says no. So funding of the overlay, again, this was because we couldn't put it on the tax rate recap. We need to fund this because we are getting far too close to not having enough money to fund possible exemptions and abatements. The fire truck lease payment, which I just found out about last week. I was like, oh, look at this, another $127,000. So this, we can't actually even go out to borrow on and do a ban because we do have the lease agreement. So this is gonna have to come from free cash or general capital stabilization every year until it's paid off. But at least now I know it's here, so I'm not scrambling for $127,000.
This is the one, we were told we could refinance if it was voted on a certain way. but
I don't
we
know.
can't.
I wasn't here, yeah.
That's right,
They went to town meeting 3 times. I
that's
think.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was like, there was a $38,000 matching grant that we missed, but we were told it was in our benefit because we'll be able to refinance this to a longer, no, a 10-year no, but now we can't.
Yeah, to my knowledge, no.
So this is like the gift that keeps on giving. We have it.
So another general budget, transfer of the snow and ice, that's at $62,000. The total is $319,330.19. So the water enterprise budget is pretty self-explanatory. As is the sewer enterprise budget, and I'm not worried about the retained earnings, cause it's only $169, $169,000 from there. So even though we're not certified, I'm not worried about that, and I don't think water doesn't even need to use them. So no worry there. So the omnibus budget is everything that we just went through with the I gotta change that. $605,000 from free cash. 11,700 from the Council on Aging formula grant, and 463,000 from ambulance receipts reserved.
This is a 2/3 vote?
On the omnibus?
I didn't change that, I just copied and pasted. I'll look into that.
It says omnibus budget?
Yeah,
No.
I didn't think so. I was gonna say, my God, we'd never get out of there.
I just copied and pasted, I don't know. Okay, so I will change that too.
Yeah.
So, and then what did we change? We put, the police will change, because we put in, did we decide if we wanted to do that 5,800 for the town clerks?
We didn't take any action yet.
No, we haven't taken any action on putting that in or not, so.
Do you want us to? We could do it now or do it,
I mean, do you wanna talk
I
to?
mean, you don't really have to take action on it, because I built the budget, I just need to know if you want me to reinstate that or not.
That's that few hours. I mean, I'm sure the person is useful.
Yes,
yeah, it's not denying that.
Yeah.
If we have the 25,000 you added, right?
yeah. I think it's like 5825
Yeah.
or something
I
like that.
think we should reinstate it then.
Okay.
That's just
All
my
right, we'll do
opinion.
that.
Next, nobody loses their job.
Good as, good as the
Yeah,
next, well, not
yeah.
really, she's just, I'm sure that's just some, pocket change.
So that's excellent, because we have now had to make no position cuts,
Yeah.
which is fantastic compared to where we started. I'm really excited about that. And I'm very proud of all the work that we have all done here, because this is a really good, it's been tough, it's not pretty, but we're done, so
You've done a good job.
that's good. And those are the only changes we made, right? The police department and now the town clerk. I don't have to change anything else here, I don't believe. And then the budget for the schools, which hopefully this will change.
Oh, your ambulance service number's okay? Because I know you were changing ambulance money.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Yep,
All
that's
right,
fine.
thank you.
The one thing we
Yeah,
do.
because it says at the top that we're taking, like, money from receipts reserved and from free
Okay,
cash
gotcha.
for the whole budget, so.
One thing we did hear today about Monty Tech's potential budget is that the state has authorized all vocational schools to increase their enrollments. And now we
By
heard.
lottery.
Yeah, by lottery, and now we hear that there's 44 students
Right.
from
Additional?
Quabbin. Potentially some, and they're way more expensive if they go to Monty Tech.
Pathfinder and Monty Tech.
And so they could go to Pathfinder or Monty Tech, and so that would be Barre kids and Hubbardston kids to Monty Tech, and Pathfinder kids from Hardwick. That's Hardwick's problem.
We
And-
pay 19 grand at Quabbin, and then what are they, 45 or something?
I'm not sure, but anyway, so that, if that happens, there's gonna be a shift around here, I think.
Yeah.
Probably,
That's for FY '27?
that's like right now.
Yeah,
And
superintendent said that today.
And they just gave the superintendents the information, and that they
And I
got
haven't gotten anything, which is like,
Yeah.
come on. I mean, what, all these towns going for overrides and stuff, I mean, come on.
I know, but that's typical.
Get better with
Man,
this
I'm
stuff.
excited for more of those kids.
Me too, but not at this late time. Well, so we did have a meeting today with the cadre from the Quabbin Regional School District, talking about the number of cuts they've made and so forth. And I believe the other towns are having those kinds of meetings as well. So the budget that they brought in to us is not their original budget, it's a budget that has gone through some iterations of decreases. I think they're nervous about what this Monty Tech thing might do. It's not Quabbin's problem in a way, but it is in a way.
Yeah,
Because
reduced
depending on, this will
enrollment.
be all ninth grade kids. So at least that's good. I mean, so you can figure out where you can maybe make staff reductions, if it's all your ninth grade kids. But, so that, I think these numbers might be a little soft. You might see some shifting around, but that's not the school's fault. It's a fault of the wonderful Department of Education and, making this decision so late in the game. But,
Don't they normally get extra funding around October, the school department?
oh no,
I remember a couple of years ago, there was like funding that they received in October that they.
well, you know what it could be? It could be rural school aid. Because what they do is they, you know, you get the money that's voted now in November, but it's not like new money. Hopefully, watch the budget drop tomorrow from the Senate. That's really important to us. I mean, did they do rural aid better than the House? And that could be a boon for us. And how generous were they with, you know, state aid for the towns? Because those two numbers are really important to us. They could not maybe make us do a whole lot of new things, but give us opportunities not to spend even at what we're recommending yet we spend. If, for example, Barry votes the Quabbin budget as is, and as happens sometimes in the past, that you have the other towns not vote it, you could end up having money there that you could redistribute or put in free cash or stabilization, whatever. It's very difficult to know it's very difficult to know what we're doing, let alone what all of the other towns are doing. It looks like a New Braintree will be an absolute yes vote there. They have an assessment that's very workable.
Told me it was negative?
Yeah,
You said in the meeting
yeah.
it was negative.
Ocam and Hubbardston and stuff are still working with the schools. Strangely, the highest assessment of all, double digits, is in Harvard, and they say they're gonna do it. So, that's surprising, but,
Would 3 towns have to vote it down for it to get reward?
no, two.
Okay, so the typical PEG access cable related fund, what I'm very now excited about. Revolving funds, nothing changed in the revolving funds section. Chapter 90 grant, as
I'll
usual,
accept
is
that.
in there.
And there's quite a bit of money there for us.
Yeah, local option meals tax, which as I said, I'll do a couple presentations on, so that people can make informed decisions, with that. The same thing as the local option rooms tax as well. So the Department of Works, here we go. Department of Public Works Special Act abolishment. So read this at your leisure, unless you just wanna read it now, and we'll sit here silently
Well,
reading it.
and I would just say that
Oh, I rewrote this
it's
as well.
different.
Yeah.
I would just say to you that in the Inspector General's requirements, when we got into some difficulty with Inspector General, it's very clear that we must deal with this. We can't just say, well,
He didn't say abolish.
No, but I do.
wait a minute.
I
Wait, wait.
do wanna say, before we get
Let me
into
read it to you.
arguments, that
Consider it a failed experiment.
DOR actually put forth an article saying that they recommend abolishing commissions and just working within,
Can I ask a
within the
hypothetical?
town.
Because I don't know how it goes, this is an honest question. What happens to the people that were just elected into a 3-year term?
they would stay on, at least in this. It says here from the Inspector General's thing, so I looked it up because I said, we might talk about this tonight. It says all the other stuff that we've done everything they've asked us to do. Now, enact a change in the structure of the town's DPW, consider proposing legislation that would eliminate the DPW commission and replace the DPW and the DPW superintendent under the authority of the selectman and town administrator. So the only change is not that the commissions would go away, but the commissions would no longer have the authority to participate in the hiring of the DPW superintendent. That would come to the selectmen.
That's not what this article says.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what they've been
The
recommending.
commissions are gone.
Yeah, so, and this was rewritten, so I do encourage you to read it, and if you have any questions, just reach out. And if you notice anything funky, please reach out. So I'm assuming you guys are just gonna meet with them next Thursday and
Yes.
just recommend everything, okay.
Well, that would make most sense, because I think we can have more in-depth discussion that way. I would prefer to say, if all of a sudden we're ready to recommend it and you guys aren't, I'd love to have that conversation before we get to town meeting.
Yes, that would be really nice.
Yeah.
I would appreciate that as well. Appointment of paid part-time assessor, which is the typical
Yeah.
article, recertification process, which council had recommended we make that part of the consent agenda, which we did. There's a new assessor, veterans property tax trust article that our veterans agent would like to get passed with the support of the Board of Assessors. And this is basically if a veteran puts their house in a trust or whatever, they are no longer eligible for their exemption. And this would take care of that.
We still in the Department of Public Works, when there's a plow or have you gotten to that one? I just wanted a question, it says,
No, I haven't gotten to
Not
that
yet.
okay, I just had a debt.
I'm on it now, so Article 23, authorized purchase of a plow, this would be through debt exclusion.
So, you
Oh,
would-
look at that, yeah.
so we would assume then that we're gonna have an election sometime in the early fall. November?
We can't do the
Okay.
special, the primary, but we can do the
Okay,
November election.
so we'll just do the 11th.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we can't do a special election because that's $10,000.
Yeah, okay,
So no
gotcha.
special election.
No, I agree. So we'll know about the plow subsequent to that.
Yes.
Okay,
Is
got
that
it.
2/3 also?
I don't believe so.
Majority, right? I know it says that, but we'd like,
It's just majority
right, so we gotta change that.
for debt
Just
exclusion.
point of reference on that, or,
Actually, I don't know, so borrowing items are generally, town council will tell us the right answer, but borrowing items are generally are
2/3.
two-thirds. So
That's-
is this
yeah.
to borrow?
No.
Yes.
Well,
It-
we're
well,
gonna,
it's-
we're gonna
it's
To
a
borrow.
borrow subject to a debt exclusion,
Yes.
is that what it says?
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah, then it would be two.
okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
we're gonna borrow $9,000?
Well, we're gonna borrow 450 additional thousand
Oh,
right
okay.
after.
Yeah, so it's kind of like.
Okay. Yeah, the dump truck will do it, I agree. The dump truck will do it.
So, yeah, so we have, we have the dump, the dump truck through debt exclusion as well. So we could just pair those up.
Didn't we just buy two dump trucks? I know they were used.
Yeah, they're
They're
used,
six-wheelers, right?
yeah, six-wheelers from Vermont.
2 used trucks, 1 10-wheeler, 1 6-wheeler.
So then we have the proposed zoning map change. This verbiage came from town council. The document said that they'll have to give a little bit more information on this. It's kind of vague. And this will be available at the town clerk's office. And then we have to amend the Quabbin Regional School District Agreement, which will be put on the town's website
Yeah.
for people to access it there. We'll print out some copies to have there. And then that's it.
What is the zoning, what is it even for?
Oh gosh, this was so long ago. The zoning map. Because a map was done back in, I don't know when, and it was
Never voted.
it was never adopted. Do you remember exactly?
2019?
Yeah, do you remember exactly?
I think it just shows the boundaries of the
Yeah.
different zones.
Oh, okay, it's not
Yeah.
rezoning the neighborhood?
No.
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 Well, what we should do is we
There
should
there
just
wasn't
get
a
a copy,
formalized
yeah.
map voted, so I believe that's what it is,
Yeah, that's what it is.
yeah.
Talk to Ellen about that.
Yeah, so both those documents will be available on the town's website.
Oh, so you think it's a 2/3 vote for the Quabbin Regional School Agreement? I don't think so. I think it's just majority. Do you think it's 2/3?
I don't know, town council looked
No.
at this. I don't know.
Well, there, yeah.
What do you think?
So what is the specific?
To amend the regional school district agreement.
I mean, unless there's a special rule about regional school district amendments,
Yeah,
because
'cause-
sometimes there are
Yeah.
weird
Yeah.
things like that.
I don't think it-
Normally, that sounds like it would be
It goes from the school committee to
A
the
normal-
towns. Yeah,
uh.
we've done it,
hang
I don't
on,
know, 3 or 4 times already.
I'll double check with town council, because they did look at this.
They
so
might
we'll
not
see.
have looked at the regional agreement. The regional agreement would be specific about how it could be done.
Oh, I gotcha. All right,
Yeah,
I'll circle
that would
back.
spell it out.
Because they formed the regional agreement without 2/3 vote.
Well, I was gonna ask, how was it formed?
Yeah, just by a
Majority,
Okay.
majority.
yeah.
Good notes. Anything else in
Do you
here
remember
that
that?
anybody saw that
Don't
needs to
get
be
smart.
changed, amended?
No, I'm serious.
It was like in the
Questions?
early 60s. Christ, I
Yeah, I
was
was
still
gonna
in
say,
school. I was still in
what
school.
would you remember?
I don't take my selectmen's
Remember,
pay,
well,
it's
I-
350
because
bucks,
I
you can
was
take
the
that,
last
use it
high school-
wherever you
Well,
want.
yeah, that's what I
Outta
said,
here.
you were
How
here.
late
Yeah,
Mr.
for
Hayes
sure.
takes
We're
his
getting
time.
Do you remember when it was
Next
all?
year.
Oh,
Okay.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So-
Parents were
No,
fighting
next year.
about it.
Just
They
saying.
wanted it bad and some didn't. And
Wow.
$900, right?
It's $900.
We only need another, what, 650?
That's
And
700.
we can have the second
Well,
parade?
if you really need it for the Christmas break, we're not taking,
We don't,
not taking-
I
We're gonna get it
hear we
back,
don't
Maureen.
really need to have one, so.
Okay, so,
Questions, comments, concerns?
so next Thursday
Changes?
evening,
6:30.
we do,
6:30
yeah, we go through it.
next Thursday.
so that's the
Now,
14th.
we usually meet at the senior center, but is that necessary? Do you wanna, it's up to you,
We
because
used
it's,
to do that last year, or the year before,
Yeah,
we did it
yeah.
like 3 years ago.
Oh,
The acoustics are all.
Last year we were here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
last
had
year we
it
were
here.
There's
we
a
were
zoning
here.
hearing
Is it
in
a
this
pu-
room
public hearing?
oh, okay,
Yeah.
on the
Okay.
14th
Yeah,
at 7 o'clock.
okay, so we'll do it here.
No, there's a zoning hearing here
In
on
this
the
room.
fourteenth at
Oh,
7
on
Okay,
Oh,
so
seven
forget
o'clock.
that.
That's
Because
already been
we
done.
can't do it in half an hour.
So you better tell me, cause I gotta change it out of the paper.
Ronald's Lane,
Yeah, we could have it at Ruggles Lane. Well, it's either you could do it there, or you could do it at the Quabbin Professional Development Center. I'm sure we could
I'm
get,
not opposed to the senior center, I just know.
well, the acoustics are awful.
Yeah.
I know.
Why don't we see if we can use the development
Center.
center?
Well, some people don't like to get into the schools because it looks like we like them too much. I'm serious, I bet, you know, if we hold a meeting there.
It's a nice space, though.
Oh, it's a very nice
It's
space.
a good space.
So Ruggles Lane would be in the gym, or the cafetorium.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we can keep it on the 14th that way, so we just have to figure out the location.
Yeah, when they send me the
I'll-
proof, I'll change it.
Well, which room do you want? The one that's available? Because potentially both of them could be.
It won't be
6:30.
videoed if you have it.
You can video it in, in the Professional Development Center.
They can.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be the most important part, I think people are gonna wanna watch the video
Yeah.
who can't make it in
Yeah.
person.
Okay, so I will see if, I'll
Is there
check
any
that
reason
out.
we can't do it on Wednesday? We have to give so much notice, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah.
Can we change the time and make it earlier, or is 6:30 the time that you guys
Well,
can
no.
get here?
Well, if we could make it earlier, that's better. Do we just do it here and we,
There's no calendar for notice in the bylaw. Is there something else you're thinking of
I
that?
don't know,
Causes
the,
it
because,
to-
no,
Because the paper comes out on Thursday, the
yeah,
Barre Gazette. So I'd
The
have to
hearing
get,
doesn't have to be in the paper. This isn't a public hearing in that sense. The only reason there has to be a hearing is because the bylaw
Says
says
so.
it is. The bylaw says that it needs to be posted in 4 places, 4 public places in town.
Yep.
I
It
like
doesn't
that.
say that there's a requirement to post it in the paper. Obviously, it's also an open meeting, so you're gonna post it there.
yeah.
Yeah,
But if you put a flyer up saying that we're having the thing down at the Folsom Market and over on the town hall and, 4 places,
Yeah.
you've met the requirements of the bylaw.
Wednesday?
while we're talking about advertising, the first step, the town meeting, every town is different, do we have to put that in the paper, or would we not to put that in the paper? Or are we putting that in the paper?
no,
No,
I
that's
never
not,
done.
that's never been a requirement
Okay.
anywhere. So,
Okay.
town meetings, you go back to when towns didn't have papers,
Yeah.
right? So all these rules go back to the
Yeah.
colonial times.
Well,
And so
every
that's why
town
we
is-
have, that's why we
every
have
town is
constables
different.
that do things, and so if you don't have a bylaw that says you have to do it, we
Then
don't.
you don't have to do it, okay.
So you do have to post it and have your
In
return of
4
service
places.
and all of those kinds of things.
So there we go.
Yeah, so we
Oh,
could
yeah,
have,
so
we could have it
email
on
the
Wednesday, or
Friday.
we could have it early.
Wednesday works.
Yeah, was
Wednesday?
What time are you thinking?
Yeah, Wednesday should be fine.
Wednesday here.
It's
Yeah.
good for you guys. So that's the 13th then.
Start at 6? Is that okay,
Yeah.
people?
Yeah.
6? Wednesday? Okay, and it will be joint, because we're gonna be taking action on things as well? Reviewing the warrant,
What time you said?
6 PM here?
On the 13th.
Oh, that was not a very lucky day, but we'll go with it.
That way we can run the tape
not
and
Friday.
everything.
Uh,
Right, Sandy?
And if
Well,
We
any,
can run the recording?
Yeah.
13th?
We can get it
Are you
recorded.
doing it here?
Yes, we're
Yes.
doing it here.
Yeah, I can check with Rick.
Okay.
Okay.
and if anybody has any comments on the warrant prior to that, if you see any errors or whatever, or if you have any questions about it, feel free to reach out, and we can discuss it and take care of stuff. Yeah.
Well, better news than we thought.
Yeah.
All in all, for
Yeah.
sure. And again, Melanie, I said it before, but I'll say it again. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We owe you a big debt of gratitude.
I'm just doing my job.
Yeah, but it's been Saturdays, Sundays, Fridays, we know,
We know.
a lot of hours.
It's all right.
We're hoping you're gonna like your job for a few years.
I do like my job. I don't think I'm going anywhere.
And don't do trainings for free on your own dime, like,
Not all of them, but some of them I have been, and the mileage reimbursement didn't bother me until I'm paying $42 for a half a tank of gas.
And it's gonna
I'm
be,
like, why am I going to Holyoke?
it's gonna be 52
Yeah.
next week.
Wear and tear on your vehicle, like, we wanna,
Well, we have to understand that whatever we put in there for the DPW, think about it, if the oil stays where it's at, and you guys, it's gonna be different,
Heating oil, gas and diesel, so it's smart to move up that reserve fund this year.
yeah,
that'll be gone in 3 months.
it will be, well, hopefully not, but things didn't go well this afternoon over in the Iranian area, I guess. I guess no one knows who's missiling who. Anyway, because we talked with the school as well, and they, of course, they're with a consortium of 18 other districts, I guess, or towns, and they still haven't gotten a bid yet on oil.
So, and I'm gonna be looking at,
And-
hours, I'm gonna have to send out, because I can extend contracts, but obviously, we're gonna have to discuss price.
Well, the problem
with
is,
these
yeah,
contracts, so-
nobody's gonna wanna lock in, and I don't blame them,
Well, I mean, we'll see what happens
Yeah.
when I send out the letters.
yeah.
When the gas station's built down in South Barry, is it ever an option to like use their services and buy fuel through them so you don't have to maintain?
That would have to be, I would suspect, something about their business plan, whatever it is. I really don't know if they're gonna own it, if it's gonna be a franchise, or,
No, I think that they're gonna own it.
Are they?
Truck it.
Yeah.
They have the diesel set up,
yes,
already.
the other one
Well,
side.
years ago, we did buy gas at the gas station up here, I'm talking way back in the 90s when I worked for the DPW, and we used to go to RJ with a key and get diesel fuel down there. So it's been done in the past, and then the town decided to buy their own tanks.
I remember last year
You
in a
guys are
DPW
done with
meeting,
me, I'm gonna
Yeah,
leave.
thank you.
The DPW was talking about maintenance needed on the tanks there, where they wanted to replace them all. I was just thinking, instead of replacing them, you might be able to use their tanks
Yeah,
instead.
yeah.
I do, I'm not sure. I'll get it in my office somehow.
So I'm gonna move to adjourn.
We have a motion made and seconded to
I'll
adjourn.
second it, yep.
Select board is adjourned.
Make a motion to adjourn finance committee meeting?
I'll second.